Now, I'm happy to report about a new documentary on ODB, Old Dirty Bastard of the Wu-Tang Clan. The film is called Old Dirty Bastard, A Tale of Two Dirties, and it tells the story of his upbringing, how he connected with the Wu-Tang Clan, um, and how the industry kind of took advantage of him. It was actually really sad to see, but it feels accurate. And it feels like it's very respectful. So much that at the screening, RZA couldn't contain himself. He couldn't even stay for the Q&A that he was scheduled to participate in.
I'm not going to say for the fact I got too many emotions about it. Yeah. I just want to thank you for the great. My first time seeing the documentary completed. So I got a lot of fun, but good job.
Now, you can't really hear what he's saying. John, I don't know if you can enhance that audio, but he basically said that this was the first time he's seen the documentary and he's got too many emotions that he can't really stay for the Q&A. So that just told me it was accurate. And by watching the documentary, I had to check it out myself. It's a sad story. It's a story of how the industry took advantage of someone trying to find their way, someone that was very talented, and someone that was easy to exploit. And honestly, it's also a story of how people took advantage of who he was. Because he cared about his community and his family, he tried to take care of everybody and he tried to please everybody. And people took advantage of that. It just kind of like shows how shady this industry is. Now, the film is directed by Jason and Sam Pollard. And they spoke a little bit about their intention for the film.
I mean, the ultimate goal for me was to really explore who Dirty was behind the public persona that we were all familiar with, especially those of us who grew up, in the 90s listening and really loving his music. We all knew about the crazy antics, the stuff, the Grammy Awards, the MTV appearances, and they were all exhilarating. But I think, the goal for me with this doc was to really explore the man behind all of that. What made Russell Jones, what made Ason Unique tick. And I'm glad you really pointed out the Brooklyn aspect, because going with, Iceline and the kids to the plaza, exploring, going to Rockaway, Far Rockaway Beach, really talking about the background and how they grew up, to me is really key and vital to, talking to his brother, to his sister, the interview with his father. All this was key to making up who Ason Unique was as a person, as a man. And also was really important to me, as Barson said, a lot of this stuff was planned. A lot of the stuff from the beginning was a planned, he was a very thoughtful and a very intelligent guy. And it was all, I kind of see it as a planned kind of chaos. Right, a planned unpredictability that he had. From the album cover to the songs, to the dances, to the movements, to the videos, it was all well planned. And I really wanted to get that across too. And then again, and another thing we wanted to say is then what happens once you find that success and fame? How does the industry then churn and treat you? And unfortunately, how does the industry exploit you? And I really want to also, get that home, the exploitation of this culture that I love so much, which is, it always saddens me.
Now, the film really revealed ODB's intentionality. He was really painted as a wild guy that was just kind of out of control. And the film also points out that he was that as well. But you never got to see this side, the more vulnerable side, how he approached his art with a lot of care and skill. And how much he cared for his family. So check it out if you can. It is streaming, I believe, on Hulu, A&E. But honestly, I saw it on YouTube. I bought it for like $3 on YouTube. So I'm guessing that money goes straight to the directors because it wasn't an official Hulu page. And maybe it's not supposed to be up there. So maybe I shouldn't be talking about it. But shout out to the Pollards for the film. Great film. And shout out to the late, great Old Dirty Bastard.